What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Real Estate Uncensored, the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. We've got a killer guest back with us today, Josh Anderson. It's been a long time, a couple years since we had Josh on the show, so we're stoked to catch up. We're going to talk about how he's generating come list me calls. We're going to talk about who he's hiring and who he's hired last and why. We're going to talk about some of the things that he's shifting with their database. They are very database and referral heavy. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that they're doing to love on their database, do events for them to actually get people to come, and some of the shifts that he's seeing, not only in how he's dealing with his market with the low inventory, but also how they're continuing to love on their database and generate that consistent stream of referrals that's the foundation of their business. So we've got a bunch of stuff to get into. Before that, the Junior Grandmaster himself is in the co-pilot seat where you so belong, looking dapper as ever in your hoodie and backwards baseball cap, which makes me want to kill you. Greg McDaniel, what's up today?
And it's a good thing I covered up with the shirt I was wearing, because underneath this shirt, what does it say? What's up, chicken butt? Yeah. Figured I'd class it up for you. So here's a funny thing that took place. I get back from my girlfriend's house this morning, right? And I had a package on my front door. And I'm like, I didn't order anything from Amazon. I mean, what is this thing? And this book called It Works by J.H.L., I want to say. It's this book here. It just showed up on my front porch with very, like these Amazon receipts.
Gift receipts, right.
With no one telling me who sent me the damn book. So I really liked it. I read the entire 6 pages all on my own. Took me 30 minutes, but I did it. It actually is 28 pages, but they're really, really small and big words. So it's just my style of a book. So whoever gave me this, my reading style. But it's such a good book, man. It was such a good thing, a reminder of just kind of how to get yourself into a positive place mentally. Mm-hmm. Write down and identify your different goals, review them on a consistent basis, rearrange them and change them, but just put specific energy towards things you want to accomplish. So I went and I wrote my list out of identifying exactly what I want to achieve in the coming future. And that was actually harder than reading the book, because it's because you never know what you want. People always talk about, I want all this, blah, blah, blah. But when you actually sit down and you identify in a priority order of what you want to achieve, you're like, oh, but what about this? And should I put that there? And no. We got to put that over here. Oh, am I going to be judged if that's above this? And then you just kind of start prioritizing things and you give yourself the freedom to do it. It felt fantastic to really sit it out. And I put it in a Google Doc so I can review it. Every time you chastise me publicly, I can go back to my doc and be like, it's okay, I got my goals. It's okay, I got my goals.
Well, that's good, because I chastise you publicly a lot. Speaking of gifts, somebody did that to me too. They sent me an Amazon Fire Stick with no gift receipt that had a name on it. So if you're in the audience and you're listening and you sent me an Amazon Fire, thank you, because I'm thoroughly enjoying it and have no idea who to thank.
And I'm waiting for mine in the mail.
Yeah, exactly.
So whenever it shows up, I'll be grateful.
Let's bring in Josh before we take up the entire episode. Josh, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
We're super stoked. So for those that are in the audience that missed your initial episode, give people just kind of the basics. So who you are, where you are, and what your role is kind of with the team.
Yeah. So Josh Anderson in Nashville, Tennessee. So we serve all of Middle Tennessee. Been in the business for about 13 years. And we have myself and 6 other agents on the team. And then we have 6 or 7 administrative people between operations, client care, taking care of the contract to close process, marketing, a couple of virtual assistants, and so we're just cranking along.
Nice.
And 2018 with about 85 or 86 million involved. So it was about 212 or 215 transactions.
Nicely done. And you're kind of seeing a lot of the same things that other people are seeing around the country, which is low inventory. So literally before we hopped on, you were making calls to kind of look for some listings in your database, searching for off-market properties. Just give people a peek into kind of what your day looks like and what your team agents are doing to deal with that low inventory environment.
Yeah, so I'm probably your atypical with regard to what my day looks like. I wake up at 4:42 every day. I know it's a very more random I know. Why would you do that, right?
Yeah. Do we need to check your mental stability?
Yeah, right. I grew up on a farm, and then I was in the military, so I just wake up early. I don't know what it was. It's, but I get into the office and I lead generate for 3 to 4 hours a day, every day. And then from there, my afternoon is a lot more open and less structured. But yeah, our big piece is we've really had to shift our lead generation to lead generating a lot more to agents who might have properties coming on the market that aren't on the market yet. Everything on MLS has kind of been picked over, or it gets multiple offers, and so we're trying to dig before it goes on MLS.
Interesting. The 4:42 in the morning. Why is that significant?
So it didn't start out as any significance other than before you had an iPhone, you had the old school alarm clocks that you'd push down really hard and they'd fast forward like 3 hours. And I went through about 48 hours worth of trying to get it to 440 or 445. I finally just stopped at 442. And now it's become this big conversation piece. People are like, tell me why. And there's really nothing sexier than that. It's just, I got very impatient.
That is really, really funny. Question for you. At 4:42 in the morning, what's your morning routine look like? 'Cause I know you're not up calling people at 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's going to probably be a reverse of what you want. So what does that look like in the morning? Do you get up? Do you exercise? Do you do a morning routine? Do you do meditation, goal review? I mean, what do you do, man?
So 3 to 4 days a week, I wake up and I hit the gym at 5 a.m. It's a couple miles from my house, so it's easy to get to. Do that for an hour, get back home, take a shower, have breakfast with the kids, get them ready, either bring them to school or get them ready for school. And then I head to the office, and I'm usually there by 7. And so getting there at 7, I really don't make my phone calls till about 8 to 8:30. That gives me time to like just check emails and really just get some of my, like finish putting my list together of calls that I need to make.
Are you using send out cards at all when it comes to building these relationships, those personalized cards to kind of do 2 to 3 a day by any chance?
I don't. I do a lot of handwritten notes.
Okay.
I should probably do a whole lot more send out cards. It would probably automate things a little bit better.
I can get you signed up. You can go to Free Card by Greg and you can send your first one free on me.
So what's the goal for the handwritten cards, Josh? Like, do you have a certain just number, or is it like a certain trigger when you feel like you've had a conversation you want to strengthen?
Yeah. It's always been kind of 15 a week. Sometimes that's 20, sometimes that's 10, sometimes it's 12. But that's kind of the goal, is 3 a day.
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's a lot harder than you think. I mean, getting those 3 cards out, you're like, 3 cards, man, that's no problem. I can get that done. Man, it sometimes it's not so easy, Yeah,
and that's where I've really leaned on my administrative team to prepare those things for me, where I'm actually writing the letter and they're putting the envelope together and sending it out.
They do everything but the most important part, which makes total sense. And I'm assuming that part of those 3 cards that are going out, there's a lot of agents I would imagine there's probably on the receiving end as well, because you're making an active effort to like build relationships with agents, which is one thing I definitely want to hit in the episode today, because I think that's an area that a lot of agents overlook, just kind of out of the scarcity mindset. But even those that don't necessarily have a scarcity mindset overlook just all the referrals and the off-market properties that you can potentially uncover just by building relationships. So I'm curious, like, where did that come from? Did you stumble onto that strategy and then just decided to go deep on it, or was it more intentional?
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional initially. I think it was in probably 2016, we really just kind of said, oh God, we've got to shift. Like, we can be reactive or we can go and do something to be proactive. And in 2016, Nashville, we started getting a lot of people moving here consistently, and we ran out of inventory. And so I don't know that it was something that I just had this aha moment. I think we started calling people that had properties or had sold properties in certain areas, and I just started reaching out to them, and they were like, hey, you know what? I might have something coming up in the next 60 or 90 days. And so it just kind of morphed into, we really need the relationships that we have with agents is so important.
So how do you keep track of that? So let's say you have a great conversation with an agent. They've got what they think might be a listing coming up in a hot neighborhood in the next month or so. How are you guys tracking that internally, or do you even attempt to track it internally so that you can follow up with them later?
It's something we're working on tracking better. A lot of the properties, so we have Google Docs created for like Airbnb properties and different, tear down opportunities and things for investors and builders and developers. Mm-hmm. We probably could do a lot better job on actually staying in touch. But when they tell me that they've got a property coming up, I'm kind of dispersing that to the team. And hey, this person's got, check in with them over the next 30 days. They told me they've got a property at 123 Main Street coming up. And so It's really kind of dispersing it internally.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, very cool. And I want to talk about the hiring, because you've got a couple of hires that you just made. You've got a couple of hires that you've got your eyes on. So tell me a little bit about the last couple of people that you brought on, and then we'll talk about kind of what the next round, because I'm curious I want people to get some insight into, how you're looking at growing, and sure. And we'll talk through some of those roles. So what's the last two people that you hired?
So last two people we hired were a buyer's agent and a marketing person. Okay. So really from a marketing, I know that's a huge umbrella. It's really kind of getting dialed in on our social. So not necessarily Facebook, but like really digging into Instagram, really digging more into video. Everybody around me, 2019 is for me the year of video, where I've just got to do it. And so we're doing neighborhood videos, or what does $1 million get you in this neighborhood? And I'm doing some stuff, just different things through different outlets.
Very cool. Love it.
I don't want to create content for content's sake, but my goal is to figure out what can you not really Google about Nashville, and how can I do videos on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, what can you not Google? Or
if you Google it, then I'm just creating more crap.
Right. Yeah. Going where the market is, and like going where the space is in the market, looking for the hole in what's out there.
Right.
Okay.
So you can't really create you can Google what you get for $1 million in different neighborhoods in Nashville, but you can't really go do a video. Like you can't find a video on that. And so it's digging into what can you get in all these different neighborhoods for $750 or for $1 million. Mm-hmm. I tell the team, if there's questions over and over that we're getting from clients, buyers or sellers, let's dig into that a little bit more and figure out, let's just put it on video.
Yeah. Is that something, Greg, that you've do you have those conversations with Gene Volpe when you guys are talking about video strategy? Do you guys look at things that people are searching for on Google, that there might be posts about it, but there's not videos about it, and then actively trying to create videos to fill that need?
No, that's a phenomenal idea. A lot of the time what I'm doing is I go about it old school. I'll just go ask people, hey, what do you want to learn about real estate? And I actually was at a bar restaurant doing some show prep for my radio show on Friday afternoon. And our server, a young gal, she just graduated college. And I said, hey, we do a radio show and we're talking about real estate. What do you want to learn about? She hit me upside the head, something I never even thought of. I want to learn about green energy and how I can put it into a house. And I'm like, that's what you want to learn about? Okay.
You do live in San Francisco, Greg.
True that. We are a bunch of tree hugging.
How do I install a solar turbine in my backyard? Well, here's how.
Well, if you could, people would.
Yeah, they would.
But it's true. I love the idea of searching it. Do you go to, Josh, do you go to YouTube and type in like real estate questions, or do you just, besides, how else do you get ideas for videos? Because it's a really good idea what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I haven't searched in, YouTube too much. I'm on several different agent emails from around the country. Mm-hmm. I'm just, I'm being really intentional about what I'm watching, as far as, there's a handful of different people that are doing it at a high level. And I'm watching theirs, and I'm saving folders of things that I like. And, a lot of it is stuff that, to me, some of it's junk and garbage, and it's kind of run down a little bit. I'm just trying to create content that people really, and the hard part is you're kind of talking to, a little bit of everybody, and it's hard to determine who wants to hear about the green building products. And,
True. I mean, I work with viral marketing, where Matt and I originally met when he was my first coach. And when we first were in pre-show here, I was going through a list, which is right here, of the best. I lost it. Anyways, it's here somewhere. Best video ideas, and it was all from It was all from viral. And I actually reached out to a guy when I muted myself when you guys were talking, and I said, "Hey, this is a great idea. How to buy a home with no money down. Would you come on my show?" Matt, we had him on the show before, Zach Beach. I'm gonna have maybe see if he can come on. Like a creative, different out of the box idea. So, what I've found is weird when it comes to the videos. Anything health related, people do not care about. Like, hey, I negotiated this free kickboxing classes for 5-6 weeks. Go say my name and get them. Crickets. Hey, I found a new brewery where you can get fat. Ooh, thumbs up. Oh, okay.
People love restaurants, food. I mean, and so that's one of the other things that we've started doing in the neighborhood that my office is in. We've started, we did a video on a classic barbershop. And we've done a coffee meet and greet type place. And so we're trying to do more business owners and highlighting them. So it has to do with us in the real estate, but it's not me. It's me interviewing them, so they're really talking.
So here's something that I found as an absolute gold mine. As I went to Groupon, and then I found the local business owners that were already giving a discount away, and I just call it up and be like, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, this is who I am, where I'm from. I saw you have a Groupon for X amount. Can I offer this out to my database? I'd love to interview you and talk about your business to see if we can get more business over to you if you can offer the same discount to my people." 100% of the people emphatically said yes to that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Free advertising.
Cool. Yeah. And it all falls under the line of kind of loving on your database, which I love that phrase. So I want to shift. Let's quickly talk about kind of one of the roles that you want to hire, because it goes along those same lines. Tell me a little bit about, if you had the ideal person, this kind of concierge ISA type of person, what would they be doing within your team?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of bigger teams that have kind of an inside sales or an outside sales type person. And I love the idea of that. I don't know that I see anybody that's doing it at a really high level and maximizing everything there. I would like somebody that could spend 50% of their time calling, my past clients and database on our client events, and then just nice little easy check-ins. And then the other 50% of the time, maybe they're doing business development to HR departments, physician groups. So it's still kind of an ISA, but it's a very specialized.
Yeah, it's more of like a relationship, almost like a business development person, rather than what real estate people probably think of as an outside sales, which is just, churn and burn, smile and dial, that sort of thing. You're looking for someone who has the ability to really form relationships with your database, pick up the relationship where they left off with you, and leverage your time by keeping in touch with them. And then you mentioned the business development, kind of developing relationships. You've got all this, like in Nashville, you got all this kind of influx of people. So you mentioned one that I'd never thought about, physicians groups. Tell me a little bit about, if you had more relationships with more physicians groups, are they bringing more doctors into their practice from outside the area?
Yeah. So I'm in conversation with 2 or 3 right now they're basically the CEO or the COO of these physician groups. And they're usually coming in from outside they've worked with physicians or doctors in some capacity, but they are kind of taking care of 401ks and the benefits and the hiring and the interviewing and the onboarding of, so like one of them.
So they're like the HR for physicians groups.
Right. So
Okay.
one of them's anesthesia medical group, and they're the largest anesthesia group in Middle Tennessee. And they hire anywhere from maybe 10 to 25 or 30 nurse anesthetists or anesthesia doctors. And so, those nurses are making 100 to 120 or 80 to 120. And then the doctors are probably making 400 plus.
Wow.
So both of those, including the employees, are great. They're all buying 3 and 4 and 5 or 100,000 or more houses. And so, even if you only capture 20% of that and they're hiring, 20 people a year, you can go get 10 of those groups around town. So that's one of the things we're working on. There's a benefits company called Home Benefits IQ.
Okay.
they've already got the platform and everything built out. And so I'm trying to work with a lender to be more of a home benefits consultant rather than me calling as the realtor saying, hey, I want you to use me as your realtor.
Right.
We're trying to put together the bank, the lender, the title company. So just one more thing.
To present almost like just an easy relocation package.
Almost like a relocation package, and they've already got the website and everything built out. And it's just one more thing that their employees get for free.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost anything. If they want to use it, great. But it's just like anything else. When you're a small business like me, it's very hard for me to compete with Vanderbilt University when they've got 20,000 employees. I can compete on the salary. I just can't compete on the 401k and everything else. So
right.
Something like that would be good for smaller businesses to offer to their employees.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. Well, there's so much that I love that strategy though. That is some serious long-term thinking. So that's the role. I want to take a quick second to mention that if you're in the audience and thinking about hiring, we love Wise Hire here. They support the show and all that good stuff. We've had their CEO, Jay Nimblick, on the show multiple times. We love Jay. They run everybody through the disc profile. So if you put your ad out there, they've got the ad templates for you. Just throw the ad out there, and then Wise Hire screens everybody and only serves up the cream of the crop. So you only talk to the people that have been matched to the disc and actually fit the profile of the person. So we talked about kind of what that concierge ISA is. They know what the profile is of that ISA person. So you don't waste your time talking to people who might seem nice and sound nice on the phone, but don't have the chops to actually build the relationships. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. But let's dive back in with the events, because you're in an interesting position. I think we're probably all around the same age, between 35 and 40-ish or whatever. And you probably got a lot of younger clients, but you're seeing them get older, and now all of a sudden they have families. So the client events that you were running, which were kind of around like happy hours and stuff like that, are not as effective as you'd like. So you're completely shifting your event strategy for 2019. So what are you shifting to?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been in the business for 13 years. So when I started in the business, I didn't have any money. So it was always Sunday fun days and happy hours and things that I could get lots of people to my backyard or to an event without it being really expensive. And those always worked really well. And now that more of our clients are married and or having kids and they're in different parts of town for work, I think that, that's just not, that strategy isn't working as well. And so we're having to do bigger events. We did one in October that was actually at my house on my front porch. We had 38 people. And it was like my top 40, referral sources. Mm-hmm. And so really it was only about 20 or 22 referral sources, husband and wife. And it was an expensive event. I mean, we had it all catered. It was amazing, but people still call me and go, "Oh my God, am I going to be invited to this dinner again?" Because it's amazing. And I can't, other than paying for it, I can't take credit for anything. I literally didn't do anything. So we had bartenders, and I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
But we're doing more of those type of events, and every time we do them, we get referrals out of it. So
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so bigger events, more family-friendly events now that your clientele is getting a little bit older. And then you also mentioned you're kind of tying some things into the holidays and giving people, kind of an opportunity that they might not normally get unless they would like to go to the mall or something like that. So let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah,
so, and we didn't do this last year, but we put on our calendar for pictures with Santa, for example. And I think there's, that's one of those things you just overlook, and I've always kind of thought it was a little bit cheesy, but I don't think there's really anywhere else to go besides the mall to go get pictures for your kids, unless you're a member at, some kind of private club or something where they have it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I feel like, Greg, when we had Glenn Twiddle on, I feel like it was like last summer, he had just come off of like helping one of his clients put on some big Easter egg hunt. Mm-hmm. And they got like local media coverage, and they got a ton of mileage, a ton of referrals out of it. And that's part of what he teaches. Greg, does that sound, am I getting that right? I feel like that was true. I could be totally making that up.
Something along those lines. Yeah. I mean, it could have been, he did, but he tied it in with charity or something else.
Yeah. And that's a great thing to do, is tying it in with a nonprofit.
Yeah. Glenn's a master of making you like the famous real estate agent around town. And I think, Josh, you're kind of going that direction with kind of where your mindset is. Yeah. It's all about being that 1 or 2% different than the average agent.
Yeah.
And I think
that was one of the event that we're going to do this summer, what came from Frank at Viral.
Did it?
And it was pretty basic. He's kind of like a mad scientist behind the scene a little bit. Yeah. So it's I think easy to put on. It's just a matter of doing it and implementing it.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. I've got one final question for you. We're going to talk about how these come list me calls come in. What are some of the things that are happening that are generating those? Before we do, speaking of like referrals, especially from other agents around the country, if people know of a client who's moving into the Nashville area and they want to reach out to you guys' team, what's the best way to connect?
Yeah, you can go to my website at joshandersonrealestate.com, or you can email us info@joshandersonrealestate.com.
Perfect. Super, super simple. Before we get to the last question, Greg, what's the best way to connect with you?
Easy. Go to bookmcdaniel.com. Guys, let's go talk about EXP. Let's talk about where we're going to be going with this. A lot of people are out there talking about, come join my team and there's no added value benefit. Matt and I have an extensive, treasure trove of documents and courses and connections that we can help you guys with. So when you join our team, we're not going to take a piece of your money. We're going to connect you with people to help you make more money. So go to bookmcdaniel.com. Let's talk about EXP. Let's talk about where your future could land when you join our tribe and the people we can connect you with. So again, bookmcdaniel.com. Do it today.
Okay. So come list me calls. How in the world does that work? And what's the work behind the scenes you guys have been putting in that you feel like is generating those?
Yeah. So the work that was put in behind the scenes was really maybe a year and a half ago, we were really getting intentional and purposeful about getting more reviews on different, Zillow and Yelp and Angie's List and all these places. And so being a little bit different than I think everybody in the real estate industry wants Realtor.com and Zillow reviews. And we just started kind of playing around with Zillow or Google and did local business, and we just started getting, so we have about 210 reviews on Google. And the next closest real estate company or agent has like 12 or 14. So we're crushing everybody. And so that was a big piece for us, though. We wanted to figure out if it worked or not, and nobody had really proven it. And so we started going all in on it and started getting calls. I mean, we get calls every week. And, you get some other stuff too. You get some rentals and things like that. But at the end of the day, we've gotten so many people that go, well, you have the most amount of reviews. And it's almost like a referral online. Mm-hmm. And depending on who it is, especially out of town people, they're like, oh my God, you must be amazing because here's your reviews.
Well, let me ask you this. Are they, what do you believe is the path they are taking to find you? Are they looking for the homes and then they are finding your website and seeing in the right-hand side that you guys are highly rated, or do they already decide, hey, I'm moving to Nashville, I got to find myself an agent, let's go look for an agent?
Yeah, I think that they're typing in top agents Nashville or best agent in Nashville, offices or brokerages. Several of them have told me that that's exactly what they're looking for. And they said, we read some of your reviews and really liked them and thought, why reach out to other people? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Makes sense. I love that. Yeah, that's fantastic. And just give us a quick peek into the process. So when are you guys asking? Are you guys using any tools? And especially since are you using something that captures that review, even if they don't follow through and post it on Google?
Yeah. So we used to use Real Satisfied, and it's really good because it captures them all in one place. But what I found is just asking manually. So the agent on the team asks, our transaction coordinator, client care asks, all the way up until closing, and then after closing if they haven't sent it to us. And then once a quarter we do reviews, a review contest.
Oh, so, nice. What does that look like?
Yeah. So it could be something as simple as, hey, we're doing a Yeti giveaway with tickets to the Titans game, the Predators games, and we get stuff from our vendors. And it might be $1,000 or $1,500 that we worth of stuff that we give. But at the end of the day, it's like, we know we're going to get business out of it, both from them as well as reviews. And so if they fill out Zillow, they might get 1 point or 1 entry. If they fill out Zillow and Google, they might get, 2 entries. If they fill out all 6 of them, they might get 20 entries.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so we're rewarding them for the more than 1 point a piece once they get over like 3. So 3 might be 5 or 6 entries.
Gotcha.
But 5 might be 15 entries.
Do you guys track that manually or use one of the contest running apps?
We've done it manually up until now.
Have you really?
Yeah. And it's not really ideal, but it's one of those, the review sites we didn't like as much. And I haven't really looked